Buffalo. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Good running play here to start the drive. That'll net them 14 yards as they pick up the first.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The third running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, third most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Well, this defense for the Bills, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
From just shy of midfield, Wentz finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Working with a 2nd and 4. On play action, it's Wentz. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message. Hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let him know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory. Be aggressive. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Force the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Wentz on the drop off to Taylor. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Wentz. And that is incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Blankenship's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big gain there for the Bills.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Now the first carry for Devin Singletary, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Operating from the red zone now, Allen. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Bills. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Bills have taken the lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
Tyrell Dotson there on the tackle.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 53 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw into the hands of Pittman here. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A throw out wide caught by Pascal.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
1st and 10, Taylor now. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now a play fake. Wentz. Finding room to the 20. And he's got a 1st down as a tackle made at the Bills' 14. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Throwing on first is Wentz. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Now Wentz. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Alley-Cox. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. They didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll look to run with Taylor. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be fourth down. On fourth down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. McKenzie now from his end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, putting some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
To the air, Allen. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On second down, a run with Breida. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
On first down, here's Breida. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And meanwhile, Allen's throw here pulled in by Beasley. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game
that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Breida. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Bass is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Taylor. 68 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides, and there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Second and 9. Now Allen. Flushed out right. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now a give to Breida. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and
to give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Second down at 5. And now they'll throw with Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And the Colts are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Allen now on 1st down. And he's got his big tight end here. Touchdown! Eric Ebron. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A good pickup there on 1st as a screen pass gets him 8.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe 1 block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Wentz now on 1st down. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Again, it's Wentz. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 37.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Working from the gun, Wentz. That's going to be caught by Allie Cox. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 13-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And this is going to be intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the Bills have just about sewn up this football game. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just... Oh, now Breida loses it. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. And that one quickly went from a big play for the offense. I thought he may go the distance. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
2nd and short now following the fumble. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. To throw is Allen. Ebron with it over the middle. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bills, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Colts, their luck may have run out as they fall